Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. This is Tech Tuesday, where we talk matters technology. You can get talking to us on our social media handles and catch this conversation live right now on metropoltv.co.ke. That's our website. And also on YouTube right now, Metropol TV Kenya. And also you can also get talking to me on at Tabitha Timothoni on Twitter. So let's move on and let's talk matters fintech. Now, San Francisco and Lagos-based fintech startup Flutterwave plans to grow its customer base in Kenya twofold and increase the volume of annual transactions by targeting small and medium enterprises. That is the SMEs in the country. And just a glance at how the fintech market looks like in the country. Last year, 2020 and early 2021, we saw how Safaricom, leading telecom in the country, fared on, and also other telecoms in the country that come or rank second and also thirdly. But the pandemic hit, it has remained in business. The telecoms have remained in business despite the fact that some of the subscriptions and ratings decreased compared to other years, comparing 2020 and 2021. Now, this clearly means that financial technology is here to stay, and so many inventions have and are coming up. When you talk subscriptions and inventions coming up, that's how the telecoms market performed. But that means clearly translates into how the fintech space looks like. Today, we feature Flutterwave, a payment solutions provider whose aim is to provide the fastest, most seamless payment solutions to suit your business needs anywhere in the world. And joining us is Mr. Eliza Fan Mowoka, who is the Business Development Manager, Flutterwave East Africa. Eli, glad you could join us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so I'd like us this conversation to be very simple for someone who someone who is not much versed with the fintech space. So I'd like us to take it step by step and get to understand who Flutterwave is and what you do. Eli.
Okay. Thank you very much. So like you clearly said, fintech is here to stay with us. And every day, if you look at the Kenyan economy, you have a lot of small and medium-sized businesses that want to sell online, especially during this time of COVID. Then how would they be able to do that if we are not able to give them the solution? So in the year 2016, we looked at Africa and we saw a fragmented payment landscape where you have somebody wants to buy things from Tanzania, they have to worry about the Tanzanian shillings, or if you want to buy something from Rwanda, you have to worry about the currency, or you don't have M-Pesa, for example, in Rwanda, but the person there has MTN. So what we did, we built a payment rail that connects north to south, east to west, that makes it easier for a company who wants to do business across Africa to just do one integration without worrying about all the hassles of being in every country. And the way we manage to do that is through getting to have partnership with telcos, with banks across this market. And today we're able to enable that person who wants to sell products on Facebook, or can be able to do that. Somebody wants to sell something on WhatsApp, rather than writing DM for pricing, they can be able to send a link, and we'll talk more about that. So that is what Flutterwave is all about, trying to simplify payments across Africa and making it easier for people to pay. And they don't have to worry about what currency I'm using, what method I'm using. You want to use card, you can use card. You want to use mobile money, you can use mobile money. You want to use any method that is in there, bank transfer, whichever method, WeChat and all that, you can be able to do that.
Great. So maybe you can take us through the back-end process of it, how you go about it. There are so many fintech platforms or payment solutions that are out there. How do you go about the integration when it comes to the back-end process of it?
So ours is very, very simple. Like I said, we want to simplify payments across the market. So simplification means that the onboarding process for any merchant is supposed to be easy. One of the problems that you have small and medium merchants have is that they'll be taken through a lot of process. Some of them make jokes that for you to become to have an account, some places you will be asked for your grandmother's certificate. So which makes it very hard for that business to be able to have a certification. So what do we do on our end? We made it so simple that you go online and click, and it will ask you for the business name, or if it's an individual, you'll write your name, and then it will ask for the certificate. You can upload all the documents that you need, and you're good to go. So back end, then our system will check whether the documents that you put in there, they meet the KYC compliance status that we have. That means they will check whether this is a legit business from Kenya Revenue Authority. They will check whether this is a legit business from IPRS, from the ID that you've given, whether it's genuine. And then they will check whether you have been listed across the world using world checks. So some of the compliance checks that we ensure that is done. And once that is done, then your account will be activated and you start selling. And that is all. It's just as simple as ABCD.
Okay, great. Now, what is the real-time process when it comes to that? How long does it take for the verification process?
So as you create your account, so if you have all the documents that you need, so our system has different types of businesses that you can be able to bring on board. So if you are an individual, you will need the normal KRA PIN and your ID card. What that means is that you can be able to get your account up and running in 30 minutes or so. If you're a business, it's okay. You have all these KYC documents that you need: certificate of incorporation, the KYC for the directors, all those documents that you can be able to have the account up and running in 1 hour. What is good is that we back end we've put AI solutions that can be able to look at the document and say if they're genuine or they're not. And that makes it easy. In 1 hour, you can start receiving payments and paying out to your customers.
Great. And I understand when it comes to the back-end process, there are so many challenges associated with that. So what can we say are some of the, things that have maybe put you down when it comes to the back-end process as a business, and how also you have navigated through some of these problems, Eli?
So majority of the issues that come back-end usually emanate from lack of having the right partners. So if when you start developing your startup, for example, and you don't get the right connection to Safaricom for M-Pesa, if you want to collect using M-Pesa or Airtel, and you go through a third party or some other shoddy means, that means your backend will not be working very well. And you have other people who are not thinking about what is the customer journey. Majority of businesses usually create solutions without really thinking about what the end customer will feel like. So if all these things have not been thought through, and you've not done a demo, and you've not brought in your customers to feel and give feedback, then you will have challenges. Also, what we've managed to do at FlutterWave, all the solutions that we build, we build those solutions for our customers. Be it you're a customer who is selling online and you want your own store, you can be able, we build this from the feedback that we got from customers, and we've done direct integrations to banks, to mobile monies, and all these other ones. So the back-end solution, that is actually what differentiates FlutterWave from the rest of the pack, because we have worked so hard to ensure that the customer, the seamless journey, whether you're onboarding, whether you're doing payment, is as simple as it's supposed to be.
Great. And I understand that people who maybe do not understand how the technology space works, going through all of that. But that I understand you have, you are frequently asked questions that you maybe guide people, or how do you go about people who are not really tech savvy?
So like I said, the simplest way of having a product, don't build a product that you need people to know how. I mean, you have to be tech savvy to use it. What we usually do is develop a system that Mama Mboga out there can be able to use. Yes. So it may be an app that you have. A customer, a Mama Mboga who is selling things on the road, can be able to use, so long as they know how to use the phone, they can be able to use that. So that means that they can be able to open a store, for example, and do their transactions. Or if, for example, if I talk about one of the products that we have that is called stores for SMEs, what that product means is that if you're selling shoes, majority of the people usually, and you can bear witness with me that you've seen people selling shoes on WhatsApp, on the status, right? And you scroll the status, then when you see somebody's selling the shoes there, but then at the end of the status, then they'll say DM for pricing. Now, imagine changing that and giving that person a store where they can put that picture. They can put the sizes of that shoe. They can put the location if you want it to be delivered. Then what we've done is that we've partnered with the likes of Sandy in the market to be able to deliver the shoe to wherever you are. So if a business is in, say, Lavington, and they want somebody is buying shoes from Karen, what will happen is they will just go online and choose the shoe size, the color that they want, the brand, and then they will click on where it's supposed to be delivered, and all the pricing will be shown there, and then it will be delivered to you on your doorstep. So those are the kind of things that we've done to make it simpler for people to use. The same way you can put it on your status, you can put it on Flutterwave store free of charge. So it's like having your own, use the word Amazon, free of charge, without subscription, without anything, and you have your own storefront that is powered by Flutterwave free of charge, and that grows the economy. That makes it easier for the people who will be thinking about having a store or having a shop, a kiosk down there. They don't have to think about that. That hassle has been taken away by Flutterwave, and that is why we say that we want to simplify your payments across.
Okay, simplifying your payment across all your platforms, or when it comes to doing business. Now, for someone who has a shop with you, what are the rates like? Definitely there is a charge, and so many people are blind when it comes to this. Someone opens a Flutterwave and they set up shop, but they do not understand the implications. So maybe you can take us through some of the rates and what to look out for.
Okay, so the other thing that differentiates Flutterwave from the rest is that we do not charge any customer to create an account. So there's no what you call joining fee or subscription. You only pay when you do a transaction. So the transaction charge, and that will depend on the value that you're paying. So unlike others where you have to pay, you want to join, you have to pay maybe $300. Here you just join free of charge, and when a customer is paying you is when we take a percentage of that we will agree with you. We always say that customer, to us, we have to create partnership as opposed to be looking at people as customers. We look at everybody, be it the smaller customers on the streets of Nairobi, or be it Uber, or be it Microsoft, or whatever customer that we have, all of them are the same to us. And we sit down and say, this is the business that I have, and this is the pricing. So that, remember, one of the things that we want to do is change the conversation enough we can make our economies grow. So pricing is very important for the small scale customers and for the merchants, or the bit bigger and smaller. So that is how we approach our pricing, as opposed to putting subscriptions or things like those to customers.
Okay, great. Now, you're in San Francisco, you are in Nigeria and Kenya now. But why Kenya, to be specific? Why the Kenyan market for you? What is in it for you?
So we, apart from San Francisco, the US, we are in 33 other countries in Africa. And like I said, we want to simplify payments across Africa for all the businesses in Africa. What that means is that today you can do business anywhere in Africa with all the rail that you've built. Kenya is very key, one of the key markets in Africa. If you look at it, if you're not in South Africa, you have to be in Lagos, you have to be in Kenya, you have to be in Egypt. And then you look at Kenya, it has a lot, I started saying that it has a lot of SMEs that are happening there. So what that means is that those people who are selling there, they have their payment process is not seamless. So then why Nairobi? To us, why Kenya? Is that we want to be part of the conversation for Africa. We cannot say that we want to bring the African businesses to the world if Kenya is not included in it. So we want to take all these people who are selling things from Kenya to the world so that they can be able to buy. And when we do that, we're growing the economy, we're creating employment for the youth. We are part of the conversation of changing the African market. It's for a long period is that a majority of African countries were dependent on the West. We need to change that conversation, and we have on our own solutions where we can be able to make businesses grow across the markets, and people can have this. So if you allow me, let me give you an example.
Sure.
You know the border of Kenya and Uganda. You have somebody who has a product in Uganda, but they cannot sell to somebody who is across the border because they do not know that they don't know each other, right? But this person will export that thing to the UK, that product to the UK, and the person in Kenya then will import the same product to Kenya, and then see there's a FX change and all these other expenses that are there. So what we're trying to do is connect these two the consumer and the seller together, so they can be able to know that I have a product. So if somebody was to Google, I want to call a nut, for example, you just see somebody in Nigeria selling that, and you're in Kenya. If you want somebody selling matoke, for example, you can be able to see somebody across the road has that, and you can buy it, and then it's cheaper to do that. So that is the reason why we are in all the markets that we are in Africa.
So you can actually buy from Lagos, you can buy from San Francisco at the same time, Nairobi.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
great.
Yes. So it makes it easier because what we've done is that we've opened the marketplace for. It's like what we've done is that we have a marketplace for all businesses across Africa. So you can log in and say, I need kitenge from Kenya, right? And this kitenge, you don't have to worry about how is it being delivered. You are in Nigeria and you see this DHL, right? And you say, let me order that, and it will be delivered at your doorstep.
Great. And you mentioned something to do with partnerships and the challenge of getting partnerships on board. So maybe you can take us through some of the clients that you work with in the country.
So one of the things that will make the payment industry grow or the fintech industry grow is through partnership. So there is no way Floraway will become successful without working with banks. Right. So across banks, you have to work with banks to be able to do payments. For example, in Kenya, we work with PesaLink for to enable payments go seamlessly, real time. We work with Safaricom and M-Pesa. So those are the partners that we have in Kenya. You have Airtel, you have, I've talked about banks, and then you have other fintech, other payment service providers who have built a solution X, and we don't have that solution X, and we have Y. They take Y, we give them X. We have card payments, Visa and MasterCard. So partnership is what is happening. You saw the other day we were able to partner with MTN across Africa, Standard Group across Africa, and the like. So those are the partnerships that we're growing to ensure that we have that. You can see we have a partnership with Uber across Africa. So today when you take Uber or you do Uber Eats, that is powered by Flutterwave. You have Facebook, you have Microsoft, and the likes across Netflix and all those customers that we have. So what we're trying to do is bring all those brands from across the world to Africa. But then remember, ours is to ensure that there's a company from Africa that is going to the globe and changing the conversations across the markets.
Great. And on changing conversations around the globe market, regulation or policy framework plays a key role when it comes to this. So Eli, maybe on matters regulation, how can we ensure harmonized regulation for the growth of startups from where you sit?
So what I see when it comes to regulations, first of all, I forgot saying that central banks of this world are part of the partners that we work together. And I always say that first, for regulations to be better and to be able to be part of the reason why the payment industry grows, we need to work together with the central banks and the regulators across the markets. And the fintech themselves, the payment service providers, they should come together and share their challenges, sit on the same table, and the central bank will say, these are the concerns that I have, and then the fintech will share, this is the concerns we have. And then people will also say, what can we do to put together? So regulations can only become better, and we can be able to have harmonized regulations if the players in the industry sit down together and come up with policies that can be able to work for the betterment of the economy and the industry. When it comes to regulations, if one part of or say one of the players decide that I will come up with this, and without involving the other one, then you'll see friction. But when there's consultative engagement and all of us are together and we agree on the way forward, at the end of the day, we want to protect the customer. Remember, what happens is that especially online businesses, they are risky. You have a lot of frauds. You have all these kind of things that are happening. So we need to sit down and be able to agree on what regulations that can be able to protect our wananchi across the board, protect your money, so that people can be confident. Remember, I keep on saying that every day, the enemy is cash, right? We need to move cash from people. So today I say you can send money to your friend or to your relative in Shags, right? Today using M-Pesa, but they would want to withdraw that cash at the M-Pesa agent and carry that cash and pay it as a supermarket that has a till number or has a card. So or that person will send them money and they will send it to a bank account, and then they go to an ATM and withdraw that money and then go pay cash. So we need to educate people that you can be able to use the same money that is on your phone or on your card online, but people will not be able to use online payments unless they are confident. And confidence comes through us ensuring that the issues, the delivery, the service, and everything works smoothly. Remember, that's why we say we want to simplify payments across Africa, and all those comes together when the regulators and all the players come together and harmonize the rules and everything that is happening on that platform and the payment industry.
And yes, I agree that education has a huge role to play when it comes to policies around that and regulation. As we wrap up this conversation, Eli, maybe some of your growth prospects when it comes to growing Kenya's economy through fintech and also Africa as a whole.
So we are a very ambitious company, right? We want to ensure that majority of the SMEs and businesses that are in Kenya are on Flutterwave. We want to ensure that all the people in Gikomba, all the people who are selling on toy markets, all the people who are selling on these shops across the town and all that have their own online stores, which makes it easier for somebody to pay. So you can see the numbers that are there. We want to be able to make Kenya people to be able to buy things online, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're buying it from the UK, you will have the largest marketplace in Africa where if you want to Google for any product you want from South Africa, you can be able to get it. And you don't have to worry about how am I going to pay, because you will click on it and you'll see M-Pesa. If somebody is in Tanzania, they will see Tigo Pesa. So those are the prospects that we want to do across Africa and grow and bring the market together to ensure that the economy grows and everybody is satisfied. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Eli.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so there you have it, how to grow fintech startups in the country, and a case study of Flutterwave, a fintech solutions based in San Francisco and Nigeria, and now penetrating the Kenyan market. Stay tuned. We take a short commercial break. More coming up.